to the inside perspective. If you're new here, I call it the inside perspective because I literally give the inside details as to what I'm feeling in my body, and I don't really hold much back. Well, I'm learning not to hold much back, but then I'm also super interested in like DNA and science and how trauma impacts our DNA, and I have an entire dissertation about how trauma impacts our DNA and leads to health disparities. So if y'all ever interested in that, I could definitely do a whole breakdown of my senior dissertation. Voice memos. Hero. Okay, yeah, we live. But yeah, I could always do like a little dissertation, a sneak peek into my dissertation. It's some cool work. It was really re-traumatizing because I went back over all of the largely traumatic things that the Black community has been faced with since the abolishment of slavery in 1865. Low-key history buff too. I get that from my father. But yeah, so that's kind of why it's called the inside perspective. But today I would like to talk about the phrase healing or recovering from heartbreak from a good person with bad habits. Let me mess with my camera a little bit. Clear. Defocus. Clear. Alright, whatever. But yeah, so I was dating somebody. I was dating a person. I think that's the only part whenever it gets weird. And I'm also gonna be taking down my locks. I want to retwist them because I forgot a piece. Like as I was retwisting, I wonder if y'all can see it. Where's she at? Yeah, this one. I guess I must have just got something happened clearly. So I'm gonna undo them. And then I'm going on a trip next weekend, so I'm going to just retwist them back up this time next week, right before I go on to my trip. But yeah, right now I am healing from heartbreak. And it's really tough, mostly because I'm also in a new relationship. It's not a new person, but it is a new relationship. So it's been really difficult to try to grieve from the person that kind of, broke my heart. And I'm sure I probably played a part in breaking theirs too. But, those are sometimes the risks we take with love. But I don't regret like anything that I had shared with this person. Like if anything, I learned so much from them, so much about, happiness and being present and staying present and enjoying the moment and not overthinking things. So that was like really beautiful to be able to experience. Oh, sorry, dogga. But yeah, it was beautiful to experience. But it's like questions now that I'd be asking, or questions now that I encourage people to ask, like when they're dating, is like, ask this person, like, how do they react whenever they feel misunderstood? Like, do they have a habit of insulting or tearing somebody down in moments whenever they feel misunderstood? And it's like, I'm such an understanding person, like, and because I've studied trauma and I've studied, some of the effects of trauma and how it comes out in our behaviors. And I've also been in therapy since I was 16. So I've been able to truly understand, like, I get it, you felt this, that, and the third. And so that's why you reacted this way. But something that I need to get better with is standing on boundaries of like, you're not going to treat me this way, even though I understand where you're coming from. And in this most recent relationship, dating, I stood on it. And it was really hard because I love this person still to this day. Like, love never wavered, but I had to learn that I can love you from a distance. And mostly also because this person consistently was making me out to be somebody that I wasn't. I believe mostly because they were projecting their trauma. So there's certain things that I would say on my podcast or in videos. And they will automatically think that it would be about them. And I'm like, you do know that I have like more people in my life outside of you. Like, yes, some parts were directed to you, but like, other things and other experiences that I've had, all clump into everything that I talk and I share about. But some of the things that I've been doing to kind of like get past my heartbreak is writing this person letters. I haven't sent them to them at all. I don't know if I will or not. But just writing down, like, I write down their name, and literally the first sentence was, I love you and you broke my heart. I understand why you did it and I wish you didn't. And because I'm no longer in a place to where I'm battling my people pleasing tendencies, I know that I don't have to subject myself to this type of treatment. But I miss you. I miss spending time with you. I miss talking to you. I miss hanging out with you. Like, I'm just real vulnerable. Like, I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't miss or I don't care about this person just because they've hurt me. But it's been really hard to sit with those feelings and emotions, because it's just like, damn, how you go from laying in the bed with each other every day, well, whenever I was able to be there, talking every day, telling you love each other, to just nothing. Just straight up nothing. And it's definitely one of the it's definitely hard. And I know a lot of us have experienced that, like literally being like this with somebody to then no communication, no nothing, blocking each other, unfollowing each other, like all of that. Like it gets to that point and then you just be like, damn, how did we get here? How did we get to this point of not even speaking to each other? Like, how did we? It's like, how you got there, what happened, you were experiencing with them, you was doing the back and forth with them. But it's the one thing that I realized that I won't do is try to convince somebody of who I am. Like, if somebody wants to make me out to be a bad person, someone want to make me out to be a bad guy, I'm not clearing that up for you. If that's what you want to believe, if I gotta be the monster, if I gotta be the bad guy in your story, then I'll be that. It just really sucks though, because I love you and I would never do anything to hurt you. But sometimes we do hurt people unintentionally, and in those moments you gotta take accountability and apologize. But it's just really been fucking up my mind, because I miss this person. I miss talking to them, I miss hearing their voice. But it's just this huge mind fuck, because I'm in a relationship now, and I'm extremely happy in the relationship that I'm in. I don't miss this person to the essence of like I want a relationship with them, but I do miss the friendship that we shared with one another. But there's a high chance that that may not come back. And so my therapist has been asking me, like, so how are you grieving this relationship? Like, what does that look like? How have you been allowing yourself to feel all the feelings? Because for a while I felt guilty, mostly because I felt like I was disrespecting my current partner by trying to grieve from a past situation. um, and it just didn't really feel fair to them. Like, for me to just be like, yeah, just give me a second. But then part of me thought, like, should I have waited before I stepped back into that relationship? But I don't regret anything that I've done. Um, Life happens, things happen. Um, but life happens, things happen, and the best thing that we could do for ourselves is give ourselves the space to grieve. And so I had to start spending a lot more time by myself, because I was distracting myself a lot. I was smoking a lot more. I was avoiding being by myself, because I knew when I do get by myself, I start to think a lot about this person. And I would get so sad to the point to where I get angry. To then I get to the point like, you know what? I'm picking up the that's not one. I'm picking up the phone. I'm calling them. They gonna hear me. Da, 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 da. But then I just realized it was because I was hurt. My fucking feelings was hurt, because I never expected someone with such soft love and encouraging love could distance themselves so much from that person because they felt misunderstood or they felt attacked or they felt something, that now they remove themselves from that person. And so I'm looking at them and I'm just like, who are you? Who did I fall for? Who did I fall in love with? Because I did fall. I'm not the motherfucker to lie, man. Like, I'm not the motherfucker to lie, front, nothing. Like, when I feel for somebody, I'm gonna let you know. And if that shit changes, I'm gonna let you know. Like, I'm not, I'm not that person. I'm sometimes too damn honest. Um, so it's been tough, for sure. Um, not speaking to this person, mostly because they think I'm this. Mostly because they think I'm this egotistical maniac that always wants to be correct, and I don't want to be correct. I just want to be heard, and I also want you to be heard. So I want you to share how you feel, and we can disagree. We don't have to agree, and I guess we also don't have to agree of how we're going to continue or not. What connection looks like between me and this individual. But it's definitely been hard, when you spend so much time with somebody and dedicate so much energy towards them, and then all of a sudden it just goes away. But the best thing I've been doing so far is taking that time by myself and feeling the pain, feeling the grief, trying new things. I've been reading books. If you follow me on Twitter or on my Instagram, I'm usually posting the books that I'm reading. Hi, Nugget. I'm usually posting the books that I read, and I've been reading a lot about finding me, because my therapist my therapist made me see, like, how my self-worth is tied into how I allow people to treat me. And so if I keep allowing these people to disrespect me, it's because I don't feel, I don't have that much self-worth of me. Like, it's directly correlated, because if you know that you the shit, there's certain things that you're not tolerating. If you used to getting steak dinners every night and then somebody hands you a salami sandwich, you're going to be like, and so now I'm recognizing and treating myself like that steak dinner. And setting the boundaries and taking the steps to make sure that I see myself for who I am and let myself know that I'm worthy. Like, just worthy in general. We can get into worthy of love, worthy of kindness, worthy of respect. Absolutely, all that and more. But just knowing that for starters, I'm worthy. I am enough. I am enough whether I make mistakes. I am enough whenever I fuck up. I'm enough whenever I do great things. Like, she basically compared my life to like an outfit. So whenever you put your favorite fit on, you be feeling that shit like, ooh, I'm it. So that's you being birthed into this world. You are enough, period. As soon as you come in, as soon as you come out. As soon as the doctor smack your butt, if you wasn't crying, if you come out like me, I came out talking. So, you're enough at that point. But, you can also make that fit pop. If you throw on a chain, throw on some jewelry, add a bag to it, put on a cap, like, you can equate those to the accomplishments and the achievements that you have in your life. So, you get a degree. It's the chain. You stick to your boundaries, stand to your boundaries. You got some earrings on, you know what I'm saying? So those are the things that add to you, but they don't increase your value or your worth. So I've learned how to see my self-worth for exactly what it is, knowing that I don't have to do more, be more. And I even remember when my dad, I graduated from college and I was kind of feeling a little, because I applied last minute to grad schools. I wasn't really on it, which also lets me know that I really didn't want to do it. Because if there's any time there's something Aaliyah wants to do, I'm getting that shit done. So I hadn't gotten into grad school, and I was feeling kind of down on myself. And I went to go talk to my dad about it, and he was like, "Look, kid, oh, not me getting emotional." He was like, "Look, kid, you've made me the proudest I could ever be. There's nothing more that you need to do in this life, even if you live with me for the rest of your life. Um, you've done enough." And that really shook me. And it still does. Because we put so much pressure on ourselves to do and to be in order to get to the next thing. But sometimes we don't pay attention to how much we're enough from the jump. We're enough for doing the things that we wanted to do. He told me he'd be proud of me even if I only had my high school diploma. And there was nothing more that I needed to do as long as I was happy. As long as I was content with myself. And so that conversation, plus the conversation with my therapist, adding in my last relationship or dating or whatever the fuck I want to call it with this individual, has just really shown me that I have to realize that I'm worthy and that I'm worth it regardless of the degrees, the views. There's certain things that matter in life, and it's the love of yourself and the love of your soul and what you feel in your spirit. And I needed to be proud of me regardless, even if my father said that to me or not. So if there's anything you take from this, is to have your boundaries and hold to them. It hurts and it's hard to stand on them, and it's hard to have to remove yourself from those people because of them. And it's even more hard whenever you're in the transition phases of like no longer having that person in your life. It's tough, but it's worth it because there's a newfound peace and respect that you find for yourself. That discipline is respect of self. And it's not just about getting in the gym. It's also about standing to your boundaries and standing on that shit regardless of how anybody feels about it. Being proud of yourself just for merely existing and knowing that you're worth it and you're worthy of whatever, whenever, just because you exist as a human. But some of y'all ain't shit. Some of y'all ain't shit, and that's okay. Like, that's what I mean whenever I say we're learning and we're growing through our traumas. But I'ma love you from the balcony. Because I was not shit and I have my ain't shit moments. I'm not saying this because I'm coming from a place of, I'm perfect. It's just coming from a place of knowledge of just like, hey, I've been there and I love you. But I also have to make sure I'm taking care of myself, because if I allow myself to be treated this way, it's going to pull me back into a space to where I clawed myself out of, and I refuse to go back there. So I love me. I love you. And I catch y'all in the next episode, I guess, of the Inside Perspective. And get into the locks, though.